Squawk. So, we have just taken over Norway and become King of Norway, or Norege. Hooray. I'm just going to see what... It's slightly tempting to try and found a new pagan empire, but, you know...
Or you could continue expanding eastwards and take over the whole of Scandinavia and create the Empire of Scandinavia, which would probably be cheaper.
Mm. What does a great blot do for me? Cheer up my vassals.
Equivalent of a feast, kind
it's
of.
True, right.
I don't know the details of it. I've deliberately not looked at them very much.
So, oh yes, we have the small problem that currently we can't send troops raiding because we're still at war with this lot. Rather. Right, can I raise any troops here? I can. At least my son is less completely useless than I am. Which, you know, is progress. Defensive pact is busy achieving equilibrium. This is fine. I don't really want to go to, you know, war for a bit because I can't afford to found any new kingdoms or anything. Right, I am at least now back in credit. We don't have a holding in Braunschweig. I'm pretty clear about this. Let's send them over there to be senselessly slaughtered by some people. So what are my personal holdings? I have the Kingdom of Norway, the Jarldom of Iceland,
Former petty kingdom, which is no longer independent and is not a petty kingdom.
Oh, yeah. And my chiefdom of West Iceland, Austisland, and Sutherland. The other one bit of Iceland being with my son. I'm currently blissfully faction free, which is somewhat confusing.
Because the people who wanted independence got it. But they were in England, so they don't matter much.
Well. And I have more. Oh, no, I don't have more than I have most of the De jure Kingdom of Norway. I'm missing a couple of bits. On the mainland. him cheering people up.
I was just thinking, looking at its size and going, that's about the size of a door.
No, I think you've got it before. And I still think that this could be removed, that could be cut to the same power over there, and you can walk through more easily.
The door almost certainly isn't solid. So if you cut the corner off it, you'll find there's a hole.
Well, that's fine, you can do a bit of it. And then you do a vertical thing here, it's probably more stable than that terrifying thing bending anyway. And you get the tip more easily. But he can just move that we get the more easily.
Damn it. The King of Gardariki wants me to join in his wars, so I've got to do that, otherwise it will cost us lots of prestige. Oh my god, he's in 4 wars. Fine. Right. Who the hell are you? Fighting and not any... Okay, some of them are in fact nearby. Right, you can go on a happy little trip over here.
Well, one good thing is that fighting in the war will probably get you prestige, like you can eat prestige almost.
It's true. I'm just seeing if...
You prefer money at the moment.
Yes. Well, I might get money by sacking things. I am just seeing if I can, you know, raise any troops at all in Norway.
No, you can't because you're a tribal lost name. So
Yes.
you don't, as an ally, you are not very helpful. Because you can't call your allies into your allies' wars. So you only get, so your ally, the people who have alliances with you, only get your own personal troops, which are not very many. Because all your vassals don't get to join in.
It's true. Well, I'm going to go over there anyway, because, you know, one can only be at peace for approximately 5 seconds without it becoming a problem. Let's glue you lot together, shove you on a ship, shove you over there. So how are my levies? Right. So yes, the thing is I now have, in theory, like 6,000 troops I can raise from my vassals.
Yes.
Probably can't get nearly that many, but you know, I could probably get like 3,000. It's very... I can see why you'd move towards feudalism. It makes all the accounting so much easier. But my opinions here are quite strong, and they mostly consist of going that, you know, the only point at which you can... So when it said to become a reformed pagan, and it said you've got to have control of all of the holy sites, does it mean you personally, or all the holy sites have to be owned by a pagan?
I think it's the religion that reforms, and hence it's the religion that has to control them.
Right. So, a preacher from Scotland has arrived to spread the gospel of their foreign religion. I can throw the preacher in my dungeon, or I can allow him to continue his missionary work. Well, canonically, we think if this were like about 90 years later, or 80 years later, it would be absolutely canonical to let him do his work. But let's assume that, you know, since I've upended history enough already by taking, you know, Norway over from Iceland, Where's my ships? Is just coming down the east coast of Scotland. Well, I'm probably accruing prestige by sitting there outside their city walls, being completely unable to do anything. Unfortunately, of course, it's costing me money to have my troops raised, which means we are not in credit anymore. We're running a deficit again. Yay! I love economics, it's the best. Right. Well, let's deal with the fact that my wife has converted. I'm not sure that's what I meant to do, but never mind. I think I meant to go into this county here, but completely failed to do it. Well, let's get back into the sea. Nip over there and see if we can besiege wherever the hell that is. And then I think I will send my fleets home, because that will probably mean that I will save enough money. Eep! You know what? I'm going to sit there for a minute, send my fleet up there, and then walk into the sea.
So, yes, I think I'm not sure what the precisely who has to control sites in order for Pagan Reformations to be available, or indeed who gets them available, given that after all the whole point of being pagan, unreformed pagan, is that you don't have a religious head to do the reform.
Yes.
But possibly merely the first unreformed leader to decide to try to reform has the advantage of being allowed to create the
whatever it was the poem was about. Yes.
Because then it's when a religion is reformed, rulers of the faith may choose to accept or reject the new order of things. Those who stick with the old ways are considered heretics by the reformed faith.
My wife is pregnant. Because of course I remarried because of the penalties for having... Right, how's that doing? Okay, that's slightly improving the economics of the situation. I think that's just me getting more tax as people cheer up. Dismiss the shipses. The Prince Bishop of Bedford really doesn't like me, but you know, I do have the wrong everything.
Yeah, I mean, it would not be completely ludicrous to just go, oh, sod it, and grant independence to your two English cantons.
Yeah, but no, it's vital to know that they're there. Right, so I can become Catholic at this point. Now this feels a bit early. That loses me 500 prestige, gains me 250 piety. And I get a new religious advisor at my court. Well, let's banish the preacher. I think banishing is, not unreasonable. I do not think it's the right time to convert.
You seem to have a problem there.
Yes. The thing is, it's not really my problem. It's more my boss's problem. Right, so that war has ended. There's still the other 364. As it were. Oh, a child. Little Arni Ingolfsson, my son. Right. Good lord. Okay, he's 12. He's got quite good state diplomacy. Can we assign him a Groniad who's not completely fucking hopeless? Right, well, let's go for my wife, because she is at least a charismatic negotiator. She's the very best diplomaticus that we can manage in the realm. What, of course, I could do is go and see if I can go commander shopping in my spare time. Let's actually pause while I do this. Let's see if we can go shopping for people what would like to join our court, like you. Let's invite you to court. Steward. Spymaster. So, just invited a bunch of people to court. Because I can upgrade my council quite a lot.
Because, curiously, you're a much more attractive place to work now.
Oh yeah. I think you are no, I don't want to use my commander. What I want to use is as a commander. Right, let's sack my commander. So basically Okay, yes, you are a new... Sorry, you are a new marshal, I think. Right. Positions. Appoint. New marshal. Let's get you... No, let's get you organising a raid, because I can really do with some raiding troops. Oh no, you're right, that's it. You're going to be my new marshal. Excuse me. You are going to be a new... You are improve diplomatic relations in thingy. You are organise raid in Iceland. You are Seer. You want to be building zeal in Norway. Oh yeah, and I also... And I think so. I should have turning up a new spy master and a new steward. Right. Okay, I need to attack some infidel. Great. You get to study technology in Constantinople. No, not you. Yeah. Okay. Right. I'm using rivers. Look how exciting this is.
Oh,
I'm getting right in land. This is terribly exciting.
yeah, I think you can't do that once you, if you turn Christian. I think.
Yeah, well, as a scene, I just evicted Christianizing influence. So...
Yes, being a Germanic pagan gets you free ships with the ability to navigate rivers and raiding.
So, things I need to do are get the law absolute tribal organisation. So, let's have a look at laws. So what's absolute tribal?
I think that's what that calls max.
Yeah. And now you can't ever change these quickly, so I should start now.
I can't remember. I think actually those ones are relatively easy to change.
Well, let's. I've got to step it up like 4 steps. So
yes.
if it turns out it takes 10 years per bloody step, I should start now.
Yes, I can't remember. I do remember that most of the penalties for increased tribal organisations apply if you are an unreformed pagan and don't apply otherwise. So you might want to work out whether you can reform or convert before you try to go all the way. So as a Christian tribal leader, which is quite a rare thing naturally in the game, I could actually push that up without serious penalty, but it may be quite different for you as a as an unreformed pagan.
So, I can't change another law for 10 years.
Right.
So
yes, you've got like 40 years before you can even think about becoming.
That's the one.
Feudal. There is an annoying thing, which is that I think it's somewhere in the increase in tribal organisation, you suddenly switch to using the feudal mechanism for getting troops from your vassals rather than the tribal one, which means that your available troops shrink hugely.
Oh, damn it, I'm running straight into a battle.
Because you go from... You get everything that you're... Or rather, you go from allied... You're getting all your vassals' allied vassals' own troops to getting like 5% of the troops they can give to their liege or some such. So it drops by... So your available troops drop quite a lot. So you probably need to be in quite a stable situation when that happens.
Yes. Whoops. Well, well. Ooh. Not. Oh, right, your fleet. Right, okay. So, right, let's get you going. Oh no, let's get you going there. That's far enough away. So. Let's just have a look at Norway. So, unfortunately, upgrading to have the right kind of thing there. I think what I should do, though, is spend some of all my prestige on upgrading.
Yes, I mean, most of the things you can build here turn into useful things if you utilise anyway.
Yes. So I'm just looking at what I need. I need to be at peace. I need to not be an unreformed pagan, and obviously that can either be by converting or by reforming paganism. My primary title will need to have the law absolute tribal organisation, which is going to take a little while. Either I've got to have a holding, or I've got to have tribal holding types plus a Stoat Hill fort, which I can't afford to build because I've got no fucking money. And we have, on the religion thing, we need to get hold of Tolan, wherever the hell Tolan is. Okay, so that is a thing. That is part of West Frisia, which is not an entirely unreasonable thing. So once I've cheered up my vassal a bit, I might try and get oh yeah, I won't find my guys there cheering people up. But I might be able to get a claim on some or all of West Frisia. Paderborn, though. Okay, currently that's part of the East Frankian revolt. How's the East Frankian revolt going? Not badly. That's good, because I think that will leave us with troops that are weaker than expected. Right, so all 296 of my people can meander over here. I will keep my fleet hanging around because I think that could in fact be useful, not least because I can nip up here and meet up with my other troops. Oh, I got a new heir. Erika of Viken. My other son. What has happened to my first? So Ultra's still alive. Right, let's have a look at inheritance. So he's got great martial skill and he's completely shit at everything else. And he's generally indifferent apart from at stabbing people in the back. What about your wife? Your wife is terrible. What about Utter's wife? Yeah, less terrible. Do I want to worry about this? Not that much. Ooh, I should go and look at what I can do with the 50 things. Let's invest in some infantry. Since we've got some. Let's throw the preacher in my dungeon. Because I'm trying to. And we have, well, Prince Bishop of Thingy. Send those ships over there and go back to. Can nearly afford some improved keeps. Right. Squeeze a couple of points into tolerance. Right. Dismiss the Norwegian fleet. Yes, technology. So I actually control one holy site now, which is good. I control Mara,
So
Naddoðr.
So you've got over 50% moral authority.
Yeah, which is one of the things that's required, isn't it?
I think over 50% means you should only need 3 holy sites to do it. So I'm kind of inclined to say, do we have any idea where the button would be for... Oh, right, there it is.
Right. So
it is you.
I
must
personally
control 3.
must control the 3 sites, right?
So essentially, it's actually a quorum system.
Yes. So
By controlling, there can only be at most one person who controls 3 sites. So at any given time, at most one person has the ability to reform Germanic paganism.
yes. What does reforming get me other than the ability to, one day adopt lemon-soaked paper feudalism?
So, to a first approximation, it makes paganism as good in the later game as Christianity is.
Right.
So let's find the summary in the. So, in game terms, reformed pagans no longer face the restrictions on crown authority, succession, independence wars, and conversion that other pagans do. Religion has a formal head which gives a permanent plus 20% moral authority. The religious head can call crusades and can call great holy wars as long as crusades and jihads have been unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
The Germanic reformer becomes the Filkir, a ducal level secular leader similar to an Islamic caliph, which is interesting.
Okay.
The other pagan faiths have a duke level religious leader, similar to the Orthodox religion's patriarch. Blah blah blah. Advantages. Sudden bonus to conversion rates. In fact, if you have high moral authority and damage rival religion's moral authority, you get maybe flooded with notices of conversions. You gain holy wars and great holy wars. You don't get a holy order because you're Germanic, or rather, the Jomsvikings can be created independently of Reformation.
Uh-huh.
For tribal pagans, makes it easier to raise tribal organisation, as we've seen. Similarly, to raise crown authority once you're feudal. Reformed offensive pagans no longer lose prestige when at peace. I think yours is a offensive one.
Yes.
The short range penalty is nearly double the normal amount for Germanic pagans.
Right.
Other pagans have different modifiers. Reformed pagans no longer get a defence attrition bonus. Will occur attrition in the territory of unreformed pagans, except the ones that follow the old form of their own religion. You start getting a penalty for raised levies, which you previously otherwise wouldn't do. You lose subjugation wars, but you keep county conquests and raids. And doing this will probably cause a schism, because some people won't switch over to the
right new way.
religion. So, and the wiki essentially suggests reforming kind of puts you halfway between your old religion and Catholicism.
Yeah.
And so it's something you probably want to do after you've finished aggressively expanding.
Yeah.
Because it
Makes it
loses
harder.
you, in particular, subjugation, which was which admittedly was most useful when you didn't yet have a kingdom.
Yeah.
So yes, you lose the benefits that allow you to expand rapidly, but on the other hand, allows you to declare larger wars and probably be a bit more stable. Yes. Because of this, it is usually strategically advisable to hold off on reforming your religion until your realm is at a multiple kingdom level.
So one possibility here is in fact go for creating an empire, and then, I mean, that's probably going to happen anyway, because it's going to take for bloody ever to get myself all the way up to max.
But it will probably be good to reform before you, well, at least to reform at some point along that path, because the penalties for being unreformed at higher tribal organisations will get bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
As in, you'll get more and more
but basically, so get to the
vassals.
point where it's possible to form an empire, and then in sort of quick succession whack up the last levels of tribal organisation, reform your paganism, and call yourself a state.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, I think you want to do them more or less in parallel, because if you actually have to control all those holy sites, then you're going to be doing some
serious war,
yes, anyway, just to get to them.
Yes, it's just that I need to get enough money to be able to do anything expansionist again.
That's fine. You also need your threat to decay.
Yes, I also need my threat to decay. I don't think it's a huge defensive fact, and I'm under 25% threatening now. The Pagan defensive fact is quite small, for instance.
I think if you want to go for reforming Germanic paganism, then I think yes, you want to. I would think that the small expansions necessary to get you the rest of to get you the other two holy sites should probably be your first targets.
Well, yes, that is my current plan. But my current plan is to try and finish these goddamn wars so I can go raiding for a bit to deal with my economic problems. Maybe not release the bishop. Let's maybe execute the bishop.
Before you do,
yes.
I think bishops may be useful things to have around for great blots.
Ah. Well, if I ever had enough money to want to do this, right, you're Prince Archbishop.
I mean, I can look it up if you would like.
Crusader kings, the very heartlands of Western Christianity are under siege by infidels. Desperate Christian lords have persuaded His Holiness Pope Johannes VIII to declare his institution of forging a great and righteous alliance to expel the heathens in the name of God. This signals a new era of large-scale Christian holy wars, the Crusades. Foolish posturing. Right, Teutonic Order. When do we have to crack? And Knights of St. John. It's a bit early. Come on. Well, that's nice, dear. I don't really care. So, how are we doing in terms of faction?
Right. It is probably worth mentioning that great blots do not generally permanently lose you the money.
Right.
Indeed,
Well,
they can be profitable.
let's
if you
give this a
have the
go
money,
in November.
Yeah, if you have the money, you will probably end the Great Blot, at least based on the wiki, you will probably end it with more money than you started.
Mhm.
Try not to give you too many spoilers for you.
Fine, the Earl of Middlesex has declared war on me. Why has the Earl of Middlesex declared war on me? Who is the Earl of Middlesex? Okay. Why have you declared war on me? For the Duchy of Essex. Which, okay, fine. Fine then. Excuse me. Right, let's call all of our vassals in. Because
Because while your troops are off in continental Europe,
and
dealing with someone else's war,
I can't actually raise any more personal levies.
your vassals, whom you can't control,
Might
help you with your
on a
war.
good day. Right, well, some of them are saying, of course I will honour your obligation. The only problem is, of course, they're a load of useless bloody loonies. And
Who knows how they will help?
yes. And I do not, in any trousers, have enough
This is
money.
presumably a war for one of your counties in England?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think not a complete disaster
If it goes badly, I mean, you know. I mean, let's just check what happens if I... So, I lose 3% moral authority for Germanic paganism. I lose 100 piety and I lose 50 prestige.
At the moment.
Yes.
I mean, you can gain more by
Raiding and annoying
doing
people.
things,
Yes. Look, just give up in your war against whoever. Against the king of Gaelic. I think that would help. So can I declare war when my vassal levies are raised? My vassal's levies are raised, I
think so,
assume
yes.
so. So I might be... The problem is I really need to recover my own, so I actually have some goddamn troops to
But
pull
of
on.
course, you are still at war,
Yes.
so
Well, yeah,
all the must be at peace, don't you?
yes. Holding in Bedford is under siege. No shit, Sherlock. Right. So right. Great Blot means I have to be at peace,
Ah,
which
right.
is currently a problem. How's our prestige acquiring going? Right. My aim here is to build stuff up while not ever dropping below the 2 tribal levies mark. So, house call, training ground. And that will still work if I've got a castle. Right. Hooray, some of my vassals have raised their levies and they're sitting in the middle of fucking North Atlantic. I've got 5,000 troops in Norway. You know.
Would you like to send them somewhere useful?
Would you like to discover ships? I strongly recommend discovering ships.
My dear Norseman, who really should have discovered ships by now.
Yeah. Well, the inland ones maybe not, but, you know, all the ones that live on the side of the fjords, you know, really.
Maybe they're master bridge builders.
Right. My spy master wants a good nickname, right? He gets the nickname The Dove. The all-purpose general nickname for I don't want to offend anybody. But... oh... okay, let's accept the Petty King of West Frisia, joining me in my war on the terrible infidel of Mercia. Wessex. Not least because if you do that and we thin you out enough, I can maybe go to war with you afterwards. I might even manage to get, you know, some troops there. Right. I have lots of potential allies. If only I could point them somewhere. I've been studying the art of mounted combat. Yay, horsey +1 martial. I might eventually be not completely useless at this. Hey, where are you going? Why are you going there? You know what? I think I'm going to march you home. Oh, your badly movement locked to another army. Look, just give up on some of these wars. Okay, I do now have a reasonable number of people in England who can fight a reasonable other number of people in England, but we're both besieging each other's holdings, so, you know, yay, I guess. Hooray, we now only have the Independence faction. I can't ask anyone to convert, can I? Because I'm the wrong everything. I have no idea how any of those wars are going nearly as well as they are. I think I'm going to have to, prioritise going for West Frisia, because it's on the edge of Francia, Lotharingia and East Francia, and I don't think it's going to survive very long without, you know, some assistance. I want to uncall to arms, because you're too stupid to work out that you need ships. I'd just like to point that out. And at some point I might crack and invest in some shipbuilding, so that we can, you know, sail to some places. I mean, on the plus side, it means that, you know, my vassals aren't being pissed off because we haven't gone to war recently. On the miners' side, I can't do anything. However, fortunately, my vassals are currently doing a reasonable job in England. We were at 64% in that war. Although I don't think I'm going to get very much when we win it, on the grounds that I didn't really do anything other than sit there and go, "Excuse me, please, sir, can I have some vassals, please?" I think that's 2 more of my children grown up. Hooray. Right. Right, do I have any troops left there? Right. Ooh, hang on. Peace otter. We surrender. Ooh, I get 40 money.
Reparations are by far the most important part of this.
Yep.
Well, and the thing of not being at war. Is
Sod
the
it.
10th of December a sensible time to declare to have a great lot?
Yeah, but I'm just going to disband this lot. I mean, I don't care about
You're
using
going
like
to
16 troops. Right, let's hold a great blot. Blot, blot, blot. You have sent out summons to all of your vassals for the blot. Those that have been baptized or profess to follow the teachings of the prophet will have to offer gold, what a terrible shame, to be exempted from this terrible feast.
Magnificent, it says.
Whatever. Prince Bishop Cunewolf, your vassal, is stubborn in his ways and speaks only of the mercy of the Lord, but he has wisely decided to offer you some gold. Yay, 20 gold. Right. Hooray. The guests have arrived. Blah blah blah. You gather outside the temple and start by offering animals as sacrifice to the gods. While their meat is prepared for the feast that is to follow, the blood is sprinkled on the statues of Odin, Thor, Freyr and the other gods, as well as on the worshippers themselves. Now for the human sacrifice. The hangman readies his rope. I'm not sure they actually died by hanging, but you know. Equally, I'm not completely sure that... Bishop Iliud is brought up from your dungeons. Christian holy... Right, so... I can lose 50 piety, or I can gain 50 piety, and 50 prestige and 25 piety. Well, this will allow me to improve my building program, so...
It says your acquaintance was sadly killed.
My acquaintance was sadly killed on account of the fact that, you know... Not my granddaughter. Okay. Olavr is brought up from your dungeons, escorted to the temple. Who the hell is he? Oh, let's click on his thing. Right. He's a Germanic pagan.
So yes, he's not so valuable.
Yeah, let's lose 25 piety, because I think I can afford that on that one. Ingolver. Who are you? My courtier, you're Norse. No, thank you. Well, gender equality. We need to slaughter at least one woman. This is absolutely how this works. Let the celebrations begin. Vassal opinion increased by plus 15 for 12 months. Food. Thorgil. Oh dear, Thorgil has been poisoned. That's terrible. Don't poison people at pagan feasts. This is the one thing you don't do. It's not cricket. You know, set fire to them and murder them in their beds, maybe. But poisoning the food, this is right out. Right, hooray! I have some more zealots.
Not very many.
Not very many. Units can't go raiding. Right. No, that's not what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. So can I do something? So I can't declare war on him.
Of course, at that level, ooh.
I don't have a casus belli against him.
Because unfortunately the top league
is inconveniently not sufficiently pagan. Right, Paderborn, however.
sure going to war with East Francia will not be a disaster.
Not sure that going to war with East Francia is a good idea. Right, let's go have a look at Ireland. Ireland is smaller.
Squishier. He's a Norse pagan.
Damn it. He's a Norse pagan. Not a Norse pagan, but...
He's a member of the Defensive Pact against you, mind.
He's a member of the Defensive Pact. Does that matter for raiding? Oh no, I can't raid.
You can't raid with these ones.
Can't raid.
Not a member of the Defensive Pact.
But scary.
A bit scary. Not a member of the Defensive Pact. Christian. Doesn't quite have 500 prestige. Does have an alliance with someone else who's quite squishy.
But yeah. So you. Right. Well. I think the problem is if I declare war, that'll end the Great Blot, won't it?
Oh, well, you might want to wait for the Great Blot to finish.
Yes.
So.
Right, there we are. Right. Hooray. Great bonuses. Right, great bonuses, Batman. Excuse me, let's just declare war on that. Right, how many vassals can I raise? Some. How many people from the League can I raise? No, clean altogether. Right. You know, people are conspiring to kill my son, Otter. Hey, we can... Ah, no. That may be part... Ah, I've accidentally triggered my sub-realm view, I think, which is why... We can... Why that was suddenly a funny colour. Glue. Embark. Thing. Now, unfortunately, you are literally right on the other side of the country from... Can I raise anyone from Beacon? Of course not. asked you to come to war, I don't think. I didn't mean to, anyway. Wow.
I mean, I think people can generally volunteer to join the wars.
Fair enough. That's
I mean,
probably
I
it
don't know
then.
if that was what happened because I was looking down at the time.
Gee. How did you end up with 5,000 troops? Okay, you hired 5,000 troops. Okay, that's a good way of ending up with 5,000 troops.
No money. Possibly your best bet now is to stand well clear and wait for that 87 to cease being 87.
It's
to
true.
stop being less. I mean, I don't know, but possibly you can get enough allies in that 5,000 isn't actually a...
The problem is getting them to Ireland. Because I can't get 5,000 to Ireland. No, what I'm going to do is send them home, because they're sending their 400 strong army up here.
So it might be that if those 5,000 troops are far enough away, you could go down there with 1,000, assault their holdings if they're all little squishy ones, and do this before those 5,000 troops reach you.
Unfortunately, they were in the county next door.
Sitting next door, I think. Yes, this is on the assumption that those
Yes,
5,000 troops settle down up in.
If they go up to Tyrconnell, yes.
But the thing is, if they just keep those 5,000 troops sitting around in their capital, excellent. They're costing money and doing nothing.
Yes.
Which is a thoroughly valid way to win a war by bankrupting your opposition.
Let's send you on a little happy trip over there. Let's dismiss my ships while we wait. And let's pull up Munster. Yeah, so he's got monthly expenses of nearly, basically.
So
Has he just dismissed
it's going
his...
to take rather a long time to actually bankrupt.
Ah.
I think that may just be you can't see anything down there anymore because
It's
you've got no ships nearby.
that I can't see anything.
So yeah, it's not costing him quite enough at the moment.
Yeah, but his monthly expenditure has just dramatically decreased
Oh.
from 4 to 0.
Yeah, but he has still got the...
Yes, but that might just be till the end of the month. Anyway. Because he was losing, his monthly expenditure was for nearly 5 a month.
Okay.
Interesting. A minute ago.
Right, he's made it stick on. So what has he got in Mooney?
So we have that, which needs at least 800 people to 1.7 fort. It's the number of people that's a worry, and nearly 900.
So if you get 1,000 people there, you can besiege it, but you probably want rather more than that if you're going to assault.
Yes. So I can, of course, raise a tribal army.
Yeah, it's quite pricey.
It is quite pricey.
So do you have still... Did he destroy the Allied army that was down there?
It was 300 people,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yes, we could have not bothered. So... Yes, the annoying thing is that you're probably not... You're enough to be able to besiege them. You're probably not enough to be able to assault the second one once you've assaulted the first one.
Yes.
I think it's going to cost you a couple of hundred troops to assault the
First
tribe.
holding. If we're going to assault, though, it's not that expensive to raise the tribal levy, because they're not raised for very long.
It costs you 500 prestige. That's the critical thing.
Yeah, but I've got.
If you're of the opinion that prestige is something you have plenty of at the moment.
Well, I've got
you
plenty. I've got plenty of prestige at the moment. I'm 62.
Oh, true, and prestige is personal.
And prestige is personal. It's not like I can pass it on to my heir.
Yeah. So going out in a blaze of glory, taking Moo, have you got enough ships?
Yes.
Since you've had that embarrassment in the past.
Let's find the sorting ships tab.
Yes.
I mean, I have to leave these lot behind for a bit, but that's not the end of the world.
That's fine. They can repeatedly thrash the
little army, and get like 2% each time. Right, so... Right, let's raise that tribal army. Let's... Damn it, I always should raise the sodding ships first. What is the end of the world? You lot get in the ship, and you get to go over there. Now I can't see his 5,000 strong, so there is a small worry that they are heading back down south.
Suggestion.
Yes.
You've got quite a lot of troops.
Yes.
Land them in Tyrconnell, besiege back your territory.
And
that will then cause him to come north and then sail south, because he certainly hasn't got enough ships to do it by sea, and so he has to do it by marching the length of Ireland.
Yes.
I mean, you'll be able to see what's going on if you arrive in the sea area to the west, pretty much, and you won't be able to see if he's actually in movement. But I think coming ashore there. All right, then come back. Excellent. Right.
Let's.
Oh, you just
I just can't see them because I've got
no
holdings left there.
Right. So right. I think
I just now leap off the ship and besiege everything.
Besiege hard in Moo and hope
that I can besiege things faster than they can. Right, let's. Also, what I'll do is I'll send my fleet up here so I can at least see the west coast counties.
Yes, so they'll probably have to come down to those.
At least some of them, anyway. Downside is I have no flanks here. Right, let's send you up there. Let's also turn down time so that I can.
Basically, just sort of know you can.
Yeah. Also recover my morale because everyone's seasick. Really, we should not get Vikings having a seasickness penalty.
It may not work because it will cost you morale, but I wonder if abandoning the assault earlier stops the defenders recovering their morale.
Possibly. So they're walking towards us. I think I should bring my ships back here so that I can flee to the sea. My son has decided to go on the Varangian Guard. I lose 100 prestige. Or gain, right, well let's do the thing.
In particular, that gets you close to being able to hire another.
Well, I'm close to that anyway. Right. So, I think what I do is I wait until they come in sight and then I leap straight in the ships. And so the lesson here is you really, really, really need to wait for your morale to recover. Right. Excuse me, where is... Right. I have someone with the Speedbooch, which is vitally important right now.
So I think now you nip round to the north and do the same thing up there and see if you can get that fast enough. Again, there may be a problem if your morale runs out too fast, though.
Yes. Well, I think there's a flat sort of penalty for being on a ship at all in any trousers.
It means you come ashore at half morale.
Yes.
Or your remaining morale, whichever is less. You can't get on and off a ship and immediately go back up to half morale.
Yes.
Much though you might like to.
Right. So you. I think there's a small problem here, which is Ireland's not big enough. I'm just going to do.
It's definitely not running his money down.
Yeah. Don't understand that in the slightest.
Salt.
I'm quite low on morale.
Yes, but he's on his way north. You might stop just before your morale reaches 0. Right.
Okay.
I think let's get straight back on the ships. And then possibly sit there until you can see what's going on. See if he does actually go back north.
Yeah.
I think he will.
That's...
Yes, he is. Right.
I think I wait till he's in there.
Well, I think you can
wait
move
till
the
his
ship
movement
south.
locked. Right, his movement locked. Let's go.
Right, I don't think he's going to be clever enough as to spot that you're moving the ships. Probably.
And what I can do is send... Right, okay, he's managed to receive them back already.
Yes.
Which is a problem. Right, I really need to wait to get more morale.
No, well, he's going to arrive soon. You
Can't wait forever.
I don't
But
think you can wait very much.
the problem is, if I'm doing this at less than full blast, my losses are horrific.
Yeah.
I think I would have done better to wait a bit longer. And right, now at this point I have to assault.
You're never going to be able to assault that.
No, I should probably abort the sea, shouldn't I? Too late. Oh well. Well, let's try retreating to the ships and then considering our position. Our position might be resignation. So they're in Shattered Retreat. I can go and fetch that lot from up there.
You can indeed get into repeated fights up there.
Yeah, but I might as well go and do that while I'm thinking. I can ship that lot plus another tribal army down there. Try and get enough people together to make a decent thing. I can invite more allies in. I can sort out. Guardian, oh dear, I'm down a commander. Let's go commander shopping. What happens if I surrender? I lose 200 prestige as opposed to the thing, and I lose 52 gold. And minus 1% thing. I think I spend 5. Right. I send this lot up here to pick those up and drop them down there. Then I raise another tribal army.
So one thing you need to be careful of is making sure that what you've got left in Ireland stays alive, which I don't think is going to be a serious problem given that they have an organiser.
Yeah.
But it does involve paying quite close attention to where they're going.
And raise some levies from somewhere. What I want to do is call the Earl of Beacon to war, but I don't have a call to war button.
So you have call to arms.
Do I? Where is
It's
it?
at the bottom because it's greyed out. It will explain why.
Okay, this isn't a war that I can call him into. Fine. So. Well, let's hang on. So you lot are Glowissing and Wessex. So right, he's already in. So is that army actually all Glowissing and people allied to Glowissing?
It looks like, well, it looks like it's a small amount of Glowissing.
Yeah. I mean, the thing here is, if that is genuinely a 4,000 strong army, I should just give up now.
I think it's not functionally a 4,000 strong army, because I think only a few hundred of it are actually hostile to you. But I don't know quite what would happen if you were to move into if you were to have an army go and meet it.
Yes, well,
whether you would end up fighting all of them. So you probably want to avoid meeting it, but I suspect it won't be overtly hostile towards you.
yeah.
I suspect everyone is involved in like 5 wars with different sets of people in each one. Right, you need to be a bit careful here about where you're fleeing to and where the enemy army is
Well,
going.
I get no choice about where I'm fleeing to.
Yes, but you need to notice when you're going to stop fleeing and make sure you have a plan.
Yes, I think my plan is to run away. So,
So at the moment you're not adjacent to anything problematic.
yeah.
If they become adjacent to you, you need to promptly move to a new square where you're not adjacent to them again, I think.
Yes.
A fairly simple runaway strategy.
Yes, I think I'm going to try
That seems reasonable.
meeting up down there. It's just... So you're still sailing there and we're still gently kicking. We won the Battle of Nordland Tribe, which is fine, I guess, just not very helpful. So let's glue you lot together. Actually, let's put you in charge there, and you can be in the wing. So now, haven't quite got our ships there yet, but they will be there shortly. Right. Make up your mind about who you want to useless states. Now, embark on ship. Ship over here. Right, okay. Well, someone's formed a defensive pact opposing the new me. Right, so King Ingolfr feasts in Valhall. It's not Valhalla, it's Valhall. At age 63. He died a natural death. Known for spending most of his nights in his laboratory. What? What? Ingolfr
didn't know he was it.
had a laboratory. Ingolfr was believed by many to be nothing more than a warlock conducting unholy spells in the secrecy of his longhouse.
Well, he never told us.
He never told us. Right. So I've lost the chieftain of Sutherland because of agnatic elective Gavelkind and having too many damn children. King Otter, a devious and distrustful character. We expect him to have daggers with each of our names on. Long live King Otter. So be it. Right, okay, we have a huge problem here, which is that I have 415 prestige. Therefore, at this point, we abandon this war now because I can't possibly win it. So, let's just see that if they'll accept a white piece. No. Right, surrender it is. Right, let's go for the surrender. Go for the Tetris. Right, pick an ambition. Who the hell are you? Right, let's cancel that plot because I don't know who you are. I don't know why I'd care. So that's going to be a bit tough. So is that. Well, let's go for a straightforward improve my rather shit martial abilities. Right. So, how is my council? My council is empty. You're my chancellor. You're my marshal. You're my steward. You're my spy master purely on the grounds that you are less disliked, and you are my seer. Right. You need to be training troops. I've still got 3/4 of Iceland though, so hooray. You need to be building my legend. You need to be studying technology. We do like Constantinople, it's great. You need to be building zeal, I think. My chancellor. I need to think of what my chancellor needs to do. Right. So you need to be improving diplomatic relations in Bedford. Okay. You are my kinsman. Let's assign a guardian. Successor nomination. Inheritance. Nominate successor. So we can go for Arni, Chief of Sutherland, who is our brother, who is only slightly hopeless. She is unfortunately 60. She has the best average stats. Diplomacy or war, I don't know. I need to start keeping my vassals sort of a thing. So let's temporarily say we're going to go with him. Let's see if we can. So, what does medium tribal organisation?
I don't think that one is significantly harmful, except that it gives you that -10.
Yeah. I probably shouldn't go any further until I am.
I think high is the point at which you suddenly lose all your troops. So tribal vassals will now provide you with levies.
Yeah.
That more importantly means tribal vassals are no longer your allies, and won't join your wars as allies. And this is expense.
Yep. Let's disband. Okay, so what are you doing then? Okay. Army of King Otter. Disband. Apparently I can go into hiding, which is entertaining. So, right. I'm going to assume that our financial situation is going to improve a bit once our levies appear. Right, we're only 7.3% threatening, so we're going to be running out of threats soon. I think most of my troops have vanished, yes, because I'm not at war. And really it's a bit risky to go to war at the moment. So we're squashing the independence faction. Let's have a look at my vassals and see if there's any vassal fettling that can be done. Prince Bishop of Bedford, well, he really hates me. Massive short reign penalty. short reign penalty and envious. Right. So what methods are there of cheering up your vassals? I suppose best way is probably wait a bit and have a great blot, isn't it?
I don't know if those are timed by if the 9 years is separate for each king.
I don't know. Ooh, yes, let's. So hold a great blot.
Right, it doesn't
Yeah.
look like that's one of them.
Yes.
You can just about afford one.
Yes. I'm also
Yes,
going
it
to.
looks like the wiki was slightly inaccurate in that because it's only your Christian vassals who
That will give
send
me
you money.
cash. Yes.
So if you had more of them, it would be more profitable.
But then it's harder to, you know. Let's just check, see if we've got some prisoners. We've got Prince Archbishop in there. I might slaughter Ingolver if he's there, just because, you know, I can. Because I could really do with the prestige and the piety at this point. Right, so I create titles. Lots of weak claims, which are all, frankly, a bit terrifying. Isn't Queen... I can imprison my wife. What is my wife trying to do? Right, I'm still threatening. Oh yeah, my Chancellor is idle. What? Should be improving diplomatic relations in Bedford. Right. Right. So, how's West Frisia doing? West Frisia is still Norse and also scary. How are we doing? Right. So. Hmm. So. What does Earth Hill Fort get me? There's a few more pips on my fort level and an upgrade on my levy size. Which is all very well. Let's make time tick a bit faster while I wait for it to become, you know, time to hold great blot. And maybe you have invited me to plot to kill my cousin who's heir to the Jarl of Vik. No thank you. I'm going to hold a great blot. Right, I still only have Prince Bishop Cynewulf, but that still gets me 20 gold, which is not a profit on the whole endeavour, but, you know, is still not to be sneezed at. Sprinkle blood everywhere. Break out the wicker baskets. Right. If we can stop you writing terrible, terrible prose about things. Well,
Probably not that snorri.
it's not, it can't be. It's like 4 centuries too early.
But maybe that will stop the other one coming into existence.
Yeah. You know, killing his great-great-great-grandfather. Win. Right, let's plus 15 to vassals, which at least starts out offset any problems through right, good. Everyone does dodgy things at the feast. It's traditional. Right. Hooray, everyone has much more morale and is more cheerful, except possibly the Prince Archbishop. Right, so you are my kins stoat. Can I marry you off to anyone remotely non-useless? So right, so I can become cruel, which improves my intrigue, knackers my diplomacy, and gives me -5 vassal opinion, or I can maybe become kind, 45% chance that I become kind. Right, let's try becoming kind. Or at least not being cruel. Oh well, I don't think that changed anything. Right. Right, so, well, they have a small army of zealots again. I'm not sure what I can do with them. Can't go to war with them, probably anywhere. This is somewhere quite small and soft. Like, what about you? What are you? You are the petty kingdom of Glywysing. Unfortunately, you have a lot of pacts. What about Cumberland? You've all got pacts. It's very inconvenient. What are you? You are the independent Christian rulers of Dingy with 650 troops. Right. Well. So, let's try not losing this war. Let's really check this. He's feudal, he's got 650. He's feudal, so his prestige doesn't matter. He's got 256 gold, which is not really enough to hire any mercenaries.
You can get some for about 150, I think. You have a rather different set, but like they would only cost you 135.
Yes.
Which is incidentally something worth remembering, except that you don't have 100.
I don't have nearly that much money. Yes. And anyway, I need to put some effort into upgrading my hill fort. To work on the long-term plan. Well, I think that we declare war on him, not least because I can in fact call in a bunch of vassals who can in fact probably on a good day So let's meander down and sit off the coast. Oh, most of my vassals are going, I don't want to join your war. Your war's rubbish. I'm getting a fair number, of course I will honour my obligations, and hopefully that will mean some of them are from Norway, and thus can make it to Brittany, admittedly possibly by walking very slowly. Right, glue you lot together. Glue you lot together. Stuff you on the ships and then go, dear God. Excuse me, I need to manufacture a better way of organising my navy. Oh dear, something's happened to my steward. Do I have a good steward? I have, I guess, an okay steward who can build some legend for me. Right. So what exactly? Ooh, there's a West Frisian revolt. How very interesting. Glue. No. Glue you lot together. Grab you lot. Shove you ashore over there. Glue you lot together. No, you don't do that. Erica there, and Hrúðulf there, and probably you there. And let's sit here and gently contemplate life, the universe and otters, and send my ships back over there on the grounds that ships are expensive, mate. Right, we are now fully whatnotty. That's the plains. Let's go. It's very hard to find somewhere that doesn't have a river crossing penalty round here, because there's lots of bloody rivers. Okay, that has given us a nice huge whack of Warsk ore. And a nice boost to prestige. I'm not going to assault that, it's a 4.0 fort. I'm just going to sit down outside it and let my guy who knows something about sieges, Scully here, do his thing. And let's get the poets watching this, the skalds watching this, so that they can do their magnificent poems about how magnificent we all are. Strong was the spear stave, stoked was the wind on the water. I can't remember where any of the kennings for blood, probably something to do with the Salt Road, or Valgrad, something like that anyway. Commander. You're my new commander. For my half brother. So you betrothed, let's assign you a guardian. Ooh, goody, my half-brother is a close enough relationship that... ooh, right, excellent. 55% war score. And the opposition army are sitting there going, "Oh," said Henry's cat, as we gently besiege Obunech. I have no idea. We're doing tech-wise. We can afford some more military organisation, so we will. 89% more score. Ah, and my allies are just turning up in order to wander gently into their army. Right, so I've got some more troops in West Iceland. Right, let's glue them together, can I? Right, they can't raid. Let's raise those ships. Actually, let's raise those ships and ship them over there. Get them over there to do that. And then I think I have a plan. Which is, when I win this war, just before I don't close the war, so at this point I don't release the otter. What I do is I dismiss my personal levies, and then I go, "Oh bugger, Lotharingia took that lot over." Biscuits.
East Francia?
Let's have a look at East Francia. How terrifying is East Francia? Quite terrifying. But I have...
I think with your allied vassals.
With my allied vassals, it's... And that's not really a thing. That's not a... He's not got that much gold.
The question, of course, is whether you can actually do anything useful with it.
So I can go Conquest of Minden, which is that one. Or Osnabrück.
Basically the ones that you're currently
next to.
ordering. Where do you need to get to? Because, like, if those are on the way, you slowly nibble your way inland.
So Paderborn is...
So, if you were to get either of those,
yeah,
that would be one step towards conquering Paderborn.
Paderborn.
So it's not a completely simple plan, actually.
I do have the small problem that something's happening to Uppsala. But, yeah.
Well, I mean, but ultimately the aim is for you to personally control them. So ones
yes.
that...
So ones that...
It doesn't really matter what religion controls them while you don't.
Yes.
Indeed, having them controlled by another religion helps, because it means you have more casus belli against them, I think.
It's true. Right, well, let's declare war for Minden, because then I'm not in competition with anyone else.
Yeah.
Right, now I can release the otter for this. So let's call in all of our mates, raise all our VATs, levies again. Probably want to leave this lot here until I can get some more people to walk to them, because otherwise they're just going to walk into 2,500 troops and be slaughtered. And so thing I should consider, maybe, is moving my capital to Van.
Ooh.
I mean, the advantages are it's got a much better fort level and probably much better tech. The disadvantages are it's much easier to get hold of me.
Yes. So yes, that doesn't. But yes, I don't think that much changes the levies you can raise.
And it does short circuit a bunch of sort of issues to do with getting castles.
Yes. Can you move your capital there while you're tribal?
Well, the only thing that it's saying that means I can't move my capital is that I can only do it during peacetime.
Well, I mean, so I think it's certainly worth checking once you're at peace.
I'm at peace, yes.
Because I think in my East African game I've done something similar. I shifted across the Red Sea to get better tech in particular.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to banish the missionary. So, how are we doing? Damn it. I have slightly too few ships.
Curses.
But I don't in total, I just have they're in the wrong bloody place as per usual. Right. Excuse me. I'm going to imprison you. You lot. Glue yourselves together. Shove yourselves from the ship. Ship yourselves over here so that we can collect those troops that are handily hanging around waiting for us. Right, let's imprison the bishop. Let's glue the fleets together. No, let us glue the fleets together. Insert the very slightly too big fleet there. And go. Did I accidentally click on the wrong thing? I did. So you're going to Oldenburg, which is there. Well, let's not land, let's hover off the coast and see if we can find any mates first. Thank you for saying our holding in Oldenburg is under siege. I never would have guessed it. Well, it's useful. Crusade for Egypt, those Christian heathens.
Yes, if you'd known that was going to happen, you could have waited to start your
War for like
until
10
they were
minutes.
busy crusading.
Yes.
Till the entirety of the Christian armies are somewhere in the Middle East, and you go, hello.
Excuse me, have you considered the benefit of having all your stuff burnt by by marauding pagans? Hello. Great to see you. Glue you lot together. Stick you on a ship. Ship you lot over there. Aha, excellent. There are 1,000 troops plus coming from Norway, which is just what we like to see. So, territory here is all plains. Let's glue together. Excellent. I think I will bring you ashore there and then walk you round. Let's glue you together. Let's and let's dismiss the fleet because they is expensive. Right, let's move you to the target county. And sit down to a little light besieging and a little light waiting for any of my allies to turn up. No, I don't know why you want me to kill him. I'm sure that, you know... Aha, right, the enemy are coming to meet me. Hopefully my allies will not be dithering around like giant dithertrons, but will in fact come and say hello in a helpful fashion. Because we're on plains and... Hooray, right. Vassals, I mean, you know, they're all not completely useless. Probably, on average,
Everyone
Jesus,
turned up in the end.
they were a bit hopeless. Not Jesus, Thor. By Thor, you're all useless stoats. You do not even have the fight of a mustelid in you. Half men, broken spears. Of course, traditionally you don't say that to your own side, you say that to the other side. You're a load of losers, piss off. Your king is so shameful, etc. You know, the ancient Norse equivalent of memes. Your king's so shameful. He let people be slaughtered at his feast last year. Right, well, cheered up my bishop a bit. How are we doing faction-wise? Not great. Right, okay, so we have a small problem here. Let us apply ourselves to fixing it. So, you need to improve diplomatic relations. You need to scheme much as I would love technology. I need to win this war. So the problem here is getting enough occupation. Fortunately, I'm in credit at the moment. That's all right. Unfortunately, I can't assault many of these holdings on account of the fact that everything's a bit scary, because I don't understand anything yet. No, I don't want to kill my spy master. I mean, I guess that in theory I might not like my spy master, but in practice, Right. So let's just look stuff up. I have 21 personal wombat. He has 36 personal wombat. Let's refrain from issuing the challenge and instead have, like, tiny ounce of common sense. So let's besiege Petershagen. Sorry. Probably. I don't know, my Danish isn't very good. Then it's probably Frisian. In that case, it's probably Petershagen. I mean, at this point, Old Icelandic is probably distinct from the Germanic languages that are being spoken here. But they're probably all pretty much mutually intelligible. I mean, given that we're not getting that far off now from only a few years after the Battle of Malden, which involved Danes coming ashore. Vikings coming ashore. Might have been Danes. But, and the two languages are mutually intelligible at that point, in a kind of ha ha ha, don't you speak my language funny kind of way. Right, so let's see. So I get much more for occupying his territory than I do for claiming my own bit back, or at least I appear to. So let's nip over and claim some more territory. Where are you going? You're going to Minden, which is here. Fine, let's loop around and come back. Okay, fine. You think you're getting away from combat, do you? Ha ha ha. I have my man Skuli on the wing, and he has Speedbooch. Also, you don't have a centre anymore. I hope that helps. I also feel that, these raids should allow you to steal tech and stuff.
Well, you're not raiding at the moment. You're
yes, I am
conquering.
invading.
But yes, you don't generally get.
Well, if I'm conquering, then I should get even more tech because
The technology only flows fairly slowly in this game.
much less rapidly than it did in real life. I mean, the one big sort of problem is that over time, at least, Christianity suppressed so much of the previous stuff. It's not like, pre-Christian Norse society was necessarily, highly literate. Although clearly there was some level of literacy, because there's plenty of runes kicking around that suggest that, it's not just, like, a very tiny elite that knows this, but, that it's reasonably common. Common enough that it's worth putting on rune stones rather than just carving a great big statue saying "it me." But we have very little sense of what that is because a lot of it was ephemeral. A lot of it may have been deliberately destroyed, and of course they weren't writing things down on parchment to be kept because that wasn't what happened. And of course, when you're in a society that mostly builds things out of wood, fires are really, really, really bad news. No, really. Although, I'm just going to point out, Ashburnham House is one of the most fantastic bits of nominative determinism in the history of history itself. Which is why the Beowulf manuscript is singed. Is that it was in the fire at Ashburnham House. So yes, I'm getting lots of ticking war score now for controlling Minden, and quite a lot of war score for occupying things. Right, then we're back we are to besieging Paderborn, which I think is in modern day Germany.
I'm pretty sure it is. That's far enough
Göttingen
south and
is-
east to not be in
yeah.
the Netherlands.
Göttingen is definitely not in either Denmark or the Netherlands. Right, imprison the bishop. Oh dear, something's happened to my seer. Let's go seer shopping. Right, so find characters, gender, any religion, my religion, any talent, this. Right, let's invite you to court. %. Build zeal. Norway. Dangerous factions. Yes, I know you're a dangerous faction. I'm trying to fix this. Oh my god, I have some money. Quick, let's upgrade to a wooden hill fort. Actually, let's think about this. Let's not do that. And let's see if we can switch to Van as our capital. I'm going to have my Chancellor and Spy Master working on the faction. So it's not like I can do anything else to, improve anything. I think I will do this war and then I will stop because it's getting late and we can think about the concept of what we do about switching capitals. Or potential to switch capitals maybe next time. Okay, we have 99% war score, and any second now we're going to squeeze over the... Got enough in battles, we've got enough in occupation. Victorious Crusaders! Ooh, Doge Marso of Amalfi. Oh, that's nice. Well, how exciting. Right, 100% war score. Releaseth the Ottereth. Right, there we go. Norway is winning here. Renewed jihad. New era of Islamic expansion. Well, fine. Excellent. That will just annoy the Christians, which is kind of what we want right now.
So, how long is your truce with East Francia? I have a feeling it may only be a 5
It's 5 years, yeah.
So you can take Paderborn in 5 years' time, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, that will take me up to 2 out of the...
So
right.
where's Naddoðr?
Naddoðr is in Denmark,
Right.
which is Norse.
So can you just subjugate the entire kingdom of Denmark?
It's okay, I'm just looking at this. Moral authority of the Germanic faith is really low. Whoops, because I suppose we lost a holy war recently. Let's try not to do that. So what was that about? I can just invade...
Naddoðr. Can you subjugate the whole of the kingdom of Denmark?
Doubt it.
Ignoring the practicalities of it. Yes, you can.
I can try and do that, so that's one possibility.
That, of course, leaves you in the unfortunate situation of being a king of 2 kingdoms.
Yes.
So it might not actually be. But on the other hand, if you're only subjugating it for long enough to reform your religion, you might be quite happy to then hand it over to one of your sons.
Yeah. Uppsala is part of Svithjord,
Right.
which is Christian, so I can, of course, if I go to war against that, that's possibly a good way of getting back some moral authority for the religion.
Yes.
And Tholen is inconveniently in Lotharingia. Now, Lotharingia is feudal, so it might not be as bad as it looks, but they're also quite rich, presumably after the Crusade. So we kind of need them to spend their ill-gotten gains before we can do anything about that. And obviously we know where Tholen is. It's just next door to us here. Paderborn, rather. It's just next door to us here. So those are the possibilities. Let's just check that I have dismissed all my levies, which I have. And let's save and stop. The year is 907. Right, good night, stream.